Welcome back. We're losing our water bodies at an alarming rate of 30% every decade. So on Urban Reality today, we're asking the final question, is there a way to protect and restore our cities' water bodies? Mr. Daftari, you've been fighting the battle for Mithi River for so long. What is it? I mean, you've already outlined the problem. Do you have the solutions? Have you suggested anything to the government on what they can do to actually now restore that river?
See, there are 2-3 components or more in the solution. Firstly, as I said, and what is most evident, obvious, is the pollution. Now, traditionally, if you go back to our Hori culture and much touted 10-20,000-year-old Sanskar Sanskriti, earlier the society used to tackle the waste with organic, with biochemical solutions. Now, there is an argument which says that you don't get so much of space, etc. But the underlying changeover to the Western and inorganic technology brings along with it a big cost. What can be done, say, in a couple of rupees per 1,000 liters of sewage costs 10 or more rupees per the same kiloliter.
Right.
Using the inorganic technology, which is all imported, which gets, more money to the in the contract to the powers that be. And in the process, you not only don't resolve the problem, you do not return the elements of that sewage. What comes from the vegetable kingdom, the plant kingdom, has to be returned back to the plant kingdom. In the process of using inorganic technology, what you get is sludge, then you get all kinds of other problems, and you can't mainly return these components, constituents back to the soil.
So what's the solution, sir? What is
the
it?
organic...
I mean, the problem is so large. You're saying go back to your roots and shut down the factories or move them away from the river. What is the exact solution here?
I'm saying that whatever waste that is produced, the second point, you're now precipitating my second coming issue, and that is the question of responsibility. I'm consuming, I'm producing waste, I have to take care, and that applies for all the 100-odd billions of people, millions of people in the country. So the point is...
Oh, billion, sir. Billion, 1.3 billion.
I
all right, so yes,
yeah.
and I think that is the crux of the problem as well. Mr. Daftari, hold your thought. I'm going to come back to you because this is a big problem. Mr. Ramachandra, isn't it? I mean, Bangalore, we believe, is one of the cities where citizens are a lot more conscious, yet it has the most polluted lakes, thing with toxins. So what is it? Do you start at the citizen level? Do citizens put pressure? Because otherwise the problem just seems so big and almost unsurmountable.
Well, I would suggest that we should go in for a decentralized treatment of the sewage as well as the industrial effluent. So as far as sewage is concerned, I would consider that as a resource. It has got nitrogen and phosphorus. So we can recover that. So there is a success model in Bangalore. We talk about Bellandur, Vattur, White Offer because of the infamous frothing or a fire. But we have a Jakkur lake because of the citizens' participation. We have a successful model. There we have secondary treatment plant and also integrated with a constructed wetland and algae pond, which mimics the nature and takes advantage of the remediation capability of the plants and algae. In that process, the nitrogen and phosphorus is completely removed. We have done the survey of the surrounding borewells in 2005, which had higher nitrate level when the lake was receiving the untreated sewage. Today, with this treatment technology in place, the constructed wetland with algae pond, in the surrounding borewell, there are no nitrates. That means 300 plus borewell users are free of contaminants. This is the model we should replicate in all the lakes in Bangalore. Today, we have 193 water bodies in the city and 198 wards. That means each ward has one water body. If we can manage and treat the sewage in a decentralized way, and model is which is functional at Jakkur, and make sure that industries don't pollute our water bodies, we will have a sustained water option for the Bangaloreans. If we rejuvenate the lake, because of the rain we have 15 TMC of water. and Bangalorean requires
Right,
that 18 TMs of water for drinking, etc. That means 70% of the water can be met by rainwater harvesting through the lakes. I would say that we should go for decentralized treatment option, rejuvenate the lake, and make sure that the sewage is treated and reused. Then we can counter even the water crisis in the city.
In fact, Mr. Ramachandra, you've actually now come out with solutions which seem that they're implementable. Anil, final question to you. This seems like a far more doable plan. I mean, you know, you have a technology, you stop industries from creating that sewage, also have algae treatment plants, and make citizens part of that process. Would you agree that this is something which you can replicate across the country and take it beyond Bangalore as well?
One big issue that we have not tackled, Manisha, is the problem of capacities. So I have some data here which put together by India Spent based on some answer by the Ministry of Environment in Lok Sabha, saying that only 30% of the total sewage generated in the country are treated. One is because they have not set up STPs, and wherever the STPs are set up also, in most cases they are not functional or they are not working to capacity. So that's the one piece, first big piece of the puzzle. Given that getting citizens aligned on working on taking care of their water bodies is a longer term process, also in terms of generating and decentralized management. The first is at least the capacity that is required for the current urban population. At the very least, they should be able to do that. So of the, for example, 62,000 million liters generated per day, we are currently we have capacity to treat only around 23,300 MLDs. So, which means the remaining 70% sewage directly flows to all our water bodies.
I think we've run out of time, but I get your point. The capacity point is very important, and the data I think you have, it tells us a very, very important point that, you know, you simply have to start with having more sewage treatment plants, STPs, and monies have to be allotted for that. That's, I think, the starting point. I'm going to conclude on that note, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me here. I mean, urbanization cannot be done away with. I mean, it's something which will happen, but it can't happen at the cost of sacrificing our natural resources. So really, the solutions have come on the show. We'll keep bringing you and highlighting some of these very important urban issues on Urban Reality. Thank you very much for joining me, and thanks for watching as well. Goodbye.